But when I had troubles, and I knew that the kind of troubles Hal had, and I was also able to get him on the phone to ask him advice, how to deal with certain things, and he always lent fierce, fabulous advice. And then I had in the early 90s, I wound up on a televised presentation show, and I went up to receive an award, and I wanted to, something I very much wanted to do was to acknowledge Hal, who had passed away recently. And so I did that. I award and thank Hal Ashby and the spirit of Hal Ashby for everything he did for me. As part of, I wouldn't be here without this. And I got a package in the mail. This is amazing. I got a package in the mail about a week later, box. From Griffin, a name I didn't recognize, and I opened up the box, and in the box was this vest, this vest, and Griff, who was Hal's partner in the last years of his life, had seen this when I said on television. And this was the vest that Hal directed in. So I actually wear this when I'm working. So thank you. So to be able to wear this here tonight with you guys, seeing how it was very special. Let me tell you a couple of things that Bud Cort said, and then you got to look at the movie. Okay. Okay. Bud was friends with Jeannie Berlin, and they were friends out in Los Angeles together. And Jeannie Berlin went for an audition, and Bud Cort was making Brewster McCloud. And Jeannie called up and said, "I just went in for an audition on a movie that you would be great for. The director's name is Colin Higgins, and the movie is called Harold and Maude, and you should really, really go and see them." By the time Bud got in to meet Colin Higgins, he'd been fired as a director. Of course, Colin Higgins wrote the great screenplay for Harold and Maude, being fired. Hal Ashby had replaced him. Bud had recently seen The Landlord, Hal's first movie, and was very excited. So he walked in and saw Hal. I want to make sure I get this right. And Hal said, "Hi, Bud, how you doing?" And Bud said, "Good, I'm playing the part." And Hal looked at him and said, "I guess you are." And it was as easy as that. They went inside, they talked, they didn't even do a reading. And Hal asked Bud who he thought should play Maude. And Bud said, "Greta Garbo." And Hal said, "How about Ruth Gordon?" And Bud had seen Ruth in a play. I want to make sure I get this one right because I didn't see it. He had actually seen Ruth Gordon, who I had the great privilege of meeting but not working with. And he had seen her in Brian Friel's The Loves of Cass McGuire, and thought that she would be a great, great choice, and he had gotten obsessed with her high heels in that play. So they made the movie, which you were about to see, and this is the part I didn't even know about this, but afterwards they, as often happens, the people at Paramount decided that they had a better idea about how the film should be edited, and they made innumerable changes, so many changes that Hal left the picture. And they edited out a certain bed scene, if you can imagine such a thing. And then they called Bud Cort to come publicize the movie. They were going to open it up. And they had gotten all kinds of amazing publicity breaks for it. And Bud found out what had happened. He looked at the film, told Hal what he thought was wrong with it. Of course, it conformed exactly with what Hal thought was wrong with it. And Bud Cort, God bless him, refused, told the Paramount people, "I'm not going to publicize the film unless you give it back to Hal and present it the way he wants it to be presented. And furthermore, I will personally go to the press myself and tell them what a horrendous thing you've done. and urge everybody in a public forum not to go see this movie. And they capitulated. So what we see here is Hal Ashby, Bud Cort, Ruth Gordon, Colin Higgins' original, absolute version of this great American masterpiece. Did anyone here work on the movie? Okay. Did I leave anything out? Thank you for listening to all that stuff. I enjoyed the picture. Thank you.